Red Dead Redemption 2 has an extensive in-game help section full of tips and tricks, but there's a lot in the game you aren't explicitly told. Thanks to GameSpot's hundreds of cumulative hours in the game, we can clue you into a few now. Some of these you may have come across, some possibly not, so let's find out. I know you want to rob stores and hijack wagons, but trust me on this one, it's really worth paying attention to the story, and that includes the many side missions with your fellow gang members. Some of the best moments in this game are totally optional observed conversations in camp, which ultimately inform the larger story moments you'll come across in the main narrative throughline. The side quests associated with fellow gang members are almost always fun and interesting and don't outstay their welcome, while the stranger missions that are identifiable with white markers on the map usually introduce you to some of the most colourful and hilarious characters in the game, including my personal favourite, Charles Chatanet.
Look at you, pretty little thing! Hello, boys.
Come on.
These white marker side missions can expire if you advance the yellow marker main missions too far, so keep that in mind. If you're ready for a menial task or ready for a fight, both of which should get you a nice handful of cash, keep your eye out for rising smoke trails. Out in the wilderness, these trails tend to be indicators of points of interest. Heading to the source should help you stumble on travelers offering up tips, strangers who need help, or just rivals looking to put a hole in your skull. Check out your character sheet in the player submenu to see what weight class you fall into. Whether Arthur is underweight, average, or overweight, there are buffs and debuffs associated with both extremes. A larger Arthur can absorb more damage, while a more lithe Arthur can maintain stamina for longer. Weight will increase with more sedentary actions and eating more snacks, and lessens with exercise. Yep, just like real life. If your inventory is getting clogged with wedding rings pilfered off the corpses of people who tried to cross you, you're going to need a fence. These shady merchants can be found in locations including Rhodes, Emerald Ranch, and Saint Denis. Fencers also sell support items, throwable weapons, and recipes, and can also craft rare talismans and trinkets. There are also fencers who pay cash for stolen horses and wagons, and a certain side mission will enable the post office worker in Rhodes to dole out tips on which wagons are worth robbing. During combat, particularly with annoying bitey beasties, tap square on PS4 or X on Xbox One while aiming to combat roll out of the way. That's all there is to say about this one, but it is super handy. Red Dead Redemption 2 may give you GTA vibes, but it's important to note that hijacking a horse is way harder than hijacking a car. Horses don't take kindly to someone other than their owner hopping on or rifling through their saddlebags. So make sure you calm strange horses before touching them, or expect a kick to the gizzards. A hard one. Sure, you can shoot up dudes with any old gun, but if your Arthur is a stylish kind of guy, you might want to customize your weaponry. At a gunsmith, you can alter the metals, the paint, the varnish, the woodwork, engravings, you name it. If you're more practical, altering things like the barrels and sights can actually improve the stats of the gun, while wrapping will help reduce degradation. It's only a handful of dollars for each modification, so if you have a favorite piece, go for it. Also, double tapping your holster makes Arthur spin the gun before he puts it away, and that makes you look pretty cool. I'm loving Red Dead Redemption 2, but I have to be honest, there's nothing worse than finishing a mission, checking your results screen, and seeing that crummy bronze medal and all the objectives you missed. Luckily, you can replay missions at any point, so if you want to relive a cool moment or go for gold, you can totally do that. With 178 animals to keep an eye out for, hunting may seem a little daunting, but there are ways to make sure you aren't wasting your time. Wildlife is divided into 3 groups: poor, good, and perfect. If that camp upgrade you want calls for a perfect longhorn skin, make sure you study the animal at a distance first to check its quality and take note of the clues of how best to hunt it. If you do take out a legendary animal, the materials and rare items will be automatically transferred to fencers and trappers. Aiming for vital areas with a bow will get you a clean kill and a nice, much less ruined skin than if you run over it with your horse. The latter is much funnier, however. If you want to delve completely into the Wild West wilderness, you may like to turn off that pesky HUD. If you do go ahead with that, just make sure you listen to the instructions NPCs give you when you're being asked to direct them places, or you'll get very lost very quickly. You'll also need to note where gunshots are coming from, as you won't be able to see enemy indicators without the HUD on. The original title for this section in our GameSpot tips gallery is "Take down the big targets with ease." But given the fervor with which my housemate yelled out "that's cheating" while seeing me get captured for this section, I've renamed it. Basically, shooting is hard, but lassoing is way easier. You can quickly hog-tie people by running up to them with the lasso equipped and pressing R2 to end fights instantly. For fauna, so long as the animal is not too big and not too little, you can just lasso it and chop it with your dagger for a nice clean kill. Don't try this on an alligator. It won't work, and you'll get so scared you have to take off your headphones while watching Arthur get death rolled. Wild West GTA unsurprisingly lets you turn Arthur into a good guy or a real bad guy. As a nice guy, you'll get sweet store discounts and write cheerier diary entries around all your cute scribbles. As a meanie, kill cams get more violent, responses to NPCs are more snide, and your journal is a tad more bitchy. If you want to get good guy points, you can mosey around town saying howdy to everybody and turning down rewards, and if you want to be bad, well, I'm sure you can figure that one out.
Hey, mister.
If you've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 for more than 5 minutes, you've probably noticed that falling off your horse is a wildly common occurrence. Aside from the embarrassment and bruises, if you were storing game or hides on your horse, just be sure to pick them up off the ground before taking off again, as they will have fallen during your untimely tumble. If you want to fish to the best of your ability, make sure you're using the correct bait and lures for the location you're in, that your technique is correct, and that you're fishing at the right time of day. Just like in real life, early morning and afternoon tend to produce the best fishy results. Fishing during a rainstorm also increases the activity of aquatic animals. Let us know if there's any great Red Dead Redemption 2 tips you've uncovered that we missed out on in that comment section, and check back to all our Red Dead content, including our brand new show, Quick Draw.